What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live as always from the man cave. Wanted to take a quick video. First of all, cheers, you guys. For those of you who are interested, staple of mine, Terrapin IPA. It's awesome. I drink it all the time, so obviously it must be. Anyway. Second contest video in a row. I like to narrow, I promised myself I would narrow down my contest videos, and I've been keeping that promise pretty decent, but I make exceptions when A, friends of mine get involved, and when B, people with not very many subscribers hit me up with a personal request to give their contest a shot. And this is one of those instances. Great people, great family, beautiful family. Imagine Just Records. Imagine Just Records, 3 words spelled exactly as is. 100 subscribers contest. Basically a trio. I mean, they kind of, you know, they're a family. They do their videos that way. They do their Instagram that way. It's, I can't remember, man, I'm so sorry. I can't remember yours or your wife's first name, but I remember your baby's name because he's adorable. The son, Lennon. Yeah, Lennon. How can you forget such an epic name? But I feel bad now. I feel like I should have researched that a little bit better before I threw this video on, but I don't script these. I freestyle them. Sorry. Anyway, I hope that doesn't cost me any points in the contest, but if it does, I don't give a shit. It's about promoting new members to the vinyl community. And for you guys, as you said, 100 subscribers is a big deal. It was for me as well. Because I never expected any more than 2 or 3 people to ever watch me ramble about music. So it was a big deal for me as well. And so I definitely understand why it's a big deal for you guys. And the idea to this is similar to the idea of the video I just shot for you guys who have already watched, or for you guys who like to watch my videos in order. But last one was 5 Desert Island albums. This one is if an alien was to come down from outer space. And you could play them 5 albums, what would they be? And so I decided to take a different approach. The last one, the way I look at it, that's 5 albums I take with me. So for me, this is an extraterrestrial. This is a person who's never been to our planet. This is a person who's never experienced our culture. I want to give them 5 immortal albums that I think will help get them into a genre, or help them understand what a genre is about to me. So there are no repeat albums. Yeah, a couple of repeat artists, but no repeat albums from the previous video. So you guys will be happy to know that. You're not going to be watching the same video twice. So I think you'll appreciate that. First off, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. This is my original mono pressing. It's got the misspell on it. Here. Middle of the day, Claire sucks. Jillian Cannonball Adderley, the very top name is misspelled. And so that's a misspelled original mono pressing, 6i Columbia labels. These are rare. They are not something you find just all the time. My favorite record store is always busy, like even like on a Wednesday afternoon. Like if you go in on Wednesday afternoon, as soon as they open the door, they're already busy. There's 3 or 4 people waiting outside the door as soon as they open. So the way I wag and wheel is if I'm going to go to this record store, if I can't be there right at opening, I don't go. Because the best shit is going to be gone. So this is one of those days where I show up right at opening, I get into the new arrivals, and here this beautiful bastard right here is. So obviously I had to have it. I had a couple of copies of Kind of Blue already, but I had to have this, and it was so, oh my God, reasonably priced. The guys at Lunchbox Records in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, if you guys knew what this goes for now, you probably wouldn't have sold that to me for $40. But I'm glad you did, because it's beautiful. It plays wonderfully, and it's an immortal classic. And obviously, a couple extraterrestrials show up on Earth. Why not, you know, play the most acclaimed jazz album of all time for them, you know? Why not? My favorite? No, it's not even my favorite Miles. But it's got Cannonball and Paul Chambers and Jimmy Cobb and Coltrane and the great Bill Evans and Wynton Kelly, all on the same freaking album. There's no way that could have not been immortal. And you're not going to tell me Miles didn't know it. Not with his confident, cocky ass. You know he knew that he was making a masterpiece. He had to have known that. Obviously, he knew that. Next up, I felt a little guilty about throwing 2 jazz albums in, but it's just how I roll. I put this list together for this video in 3 minutes, tops. Because if I'm going to ever play So Love Supreme, John Coltrane, this is my original mono press. I looked for years and years and years for this. And, you know, that beautiful Impulse label. Beautiful Impulse gatefold. I've shown this. Yeah, you guys who have watched my videos already know. You guys who haven't, I looked for years for this. This was my very top grail for so long. I finally found a copy I could afford, and the only glitch was that little cut right there at the top left-hand corner of the sleeve, which I don't know why in the hell they did that. I'd love to be able to go back in time and take the scissors out of that person's hand. What the fuck are you doing? Aren't there other ways to mark records? Can't you put a sticker on it? Can't you? I don't know. What were you doing? Seriously. But my goal is, to me, the wax is good enough. My goal is to find a beater record with a great copy of the cover and buy it for cheap and substitute the covers. That's my idea. That's what I'm going for, and I'm still on the search, and I'll do it one day. I'm looking every day. I look all the time, and I will find it. The vinyl's good enough for me. Always, I'd love to have that near mint all the way around copy, but I don't just have $500 to just spend any time. So anyway, enough about that. I apologize. Next up, extraterrestrials, come down. Obviously, you want to teach them something about the progression of modern day rock and roll, and for you, where it started. Okay, well, anybody going to argue with that? Hard to argue with that, right? Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. You know who it is. The Beatles. This is my original mono copy. Very proud of it. I once had 7 copies of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I kept one. I kept my original mono. It's immaculate. It's got the original inserts. It's got everything, and it plays as close to a near mint as a 50-year-old record can play. So, very happy with it. I'd love to have kept all 7, but it just wasn't practical, and I needed the money. All right, so got jazz, and you got what, to me, basically jump-started the evolution of what leads to modern-day rock and roll, which modern-day rock and roll is mostly trash. But unfortunately, yeah, for those of you who buy every indie rock album that comes out and you want to click out, deuces. I wouldn't blame you, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. Am I correct? I won't fault any of you guys. I still buy some new releases every 2 or 3 years. All right, so I want to get them on that soul tip. For me, what's a soul album? A holy shit moment in the history of soul music that really tilted the scale and really made a statement. And every time I ever think about something like that, it always leads me to What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Every time. Because, man, what a statement. I think he probably made the people at Motown very, 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 very nervous when he turned this album in, because it's not How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. It's not Ain't No Mountain High Enough. It's not that. It's not your top 40. It's not that, even though he's got several immortal all-time classics on this. And he's got my 2 favorite Marvin Gaye songs, period, are on this album. Inner City Blues, Made Me Wanna Holler. Sorry. And Mercy, Mercy Me. Those are my two all-time favorite Marvin Gaye songs, and they're on this album. It's immortal. It's as much a political statement as any soul album, especially I think released in 1971. Yeah, I was correct. Could ever be. And if I'm gonna play this for an extraterrestrial that just arrived, if I'm gonna pick one, if I'm gonna pick a soul album that I think makes a statement about the world as I see it today, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. And last but not least, because it's like, okay, an extraterrestrial, I've played him some jazz. I probably could have not gone with two jazz albums, but I'm sorry. Couldn't help myself. I played him some jazz. I played him some, an album that leads towards what rock and roll became, and, not what it is now, of course. And an all-time classic soul album that really speaks to me and the conditions of our world as we live in now, which no album made in 1971 should still be socially and politically relevant, but I'm not here to get political. But it shouldn't be. We're supposed to evolve. We're not supposed to be fighting the same struggles. But I'll lead them to one of the very first albums I ever fell in, complete and total love with. And an album from a great genre, a groundbreaking genre, something that really changed rock and roll. And for the good, in my opinion, even though what it is now is anyway. I digress. But I'm going to play them. Nirvana, Unplugged in New York. It's the top 5 live album of all time for me. My favorite rock and roll live album. It's top 3 live non-jazz albums for me. Absolutely. And it's my favorite Nirvana release, period. I once had like 60 Nirvana releases in my collection. I narrowed that all the way down to the studios and a couple lives. Because, again, stuff happens. So my favorite grunge album, what I believe is the most meaningful soul album of all time, possibly the most monumental rock and roll release of all time, even though it's not my favorite Beatles album. That's not important. It's not, you can't argue how perfect of an album it is. There's no bad moment on this. The album that got me into jazz, and the album that you have to believe really started shaping the direction of jazz. This is Coltrane on his streak, on his creative genius streak. And it starts to go more free jazz as he goes. And he's clear that he's on a level nobody can touch. And he kind of kickstarts it in a big way and makes it the thing in jazz for quite a while. And this is only a couple of years before his death. So imagine what this man would have done. I think about it all the time. Man. Goosebumps just even thinking about it. And of course, somebody that if, jazz the way it was, jazz the way it was leading, basically. And I'd be more than happy to play anybody that, not just some extraterrestrial that showed up. But there's my 5. So, Imagine Just Records, 100 subs contest, 5 albums you would play for an extraterrestrial if they showed up on your planet, on our planet. I like the concept, I like the spin on it, that's nice, because it allowed me to do something a little different, because 2 requests for a contest at the same time, and both very similar ideas, but it allowed me to go 2 different directions, so that's great. Congratulations on the 100 subscribers. I looked yesterday, you guys are well over 100 now, so your contest must be working. So that's great. And keep doing what you're doing, guys. I love what you're doing, and I love that beautiful boy of yours. I love the name. Hope you enjoy the video. Just so you guys know, I'm participating to give you a shout, to give you some help, to help out fellow members of the vinyl community. Winning is not what it's about for me. I don't even know what the prize is. I'm just being completely honest. I don't know what the prize is. It doesn't matter to me. It's about helping you guys out, about giving you some shine, about giving you a shout, and helping you along the way. And congratulations on 100 subs. Until next time, until next video, cheers to you guys for 100 subs. Until next time, until next video. Keep dropping that needle, you guys.
Come on. Good job. You want to go again? Go again.